Interestingly, Sony even released a real-world website that recreates this exact interface from Ned's tracking program. Sixth detail. Banner may have evolved into a much larger, more terrifying...
The girl never expected that even smiling could be a test. As the beautiful girl smiled in front of the mirror, a golden star shined right above her head. This meant that she had passed the exam with full marks. The girl couldn't understand any of this, but in this place, a student who failed 3 times was turned into an animal. So, she had no choice but to try and smile. The girl forced a smile, but instantly, black smoke began to rise above her head, and a large glowing F appeared in the air. Just because the girl couldn't smile properly, she failed the exam. What's even more shocking was that her friend, Greg, failed simply because he cut his finger. At that exact moment, the girl began to doubt the goodness of the school for good. The second class was the art of jungle survival. A professor who looked like a tree spirit told them, "These innocent-looking purple flowers are actually fierce man-eating plants, and these ordinary-looking scarecrows turn into ruthless killers at night. Remember, goodness is that which can wear the best disguise of evil." Just then, Greg accidentally ended up among those flowers. He panicked and started running, but he had already failed in 2 subjects. If he failed one more time, he would be punished. The girl tried to stop him, but suddenly, a violent storm surrounded him. The girl could do nothing. She just watched helplessly while he disappeared into the air, screaming in pain. At that moment, the girl felt that she wasn't in the school for good, but in the school for evil. Shortly after, the 3rd class began. The professor was teaching them how to make wishes with the wishing fish. The other girls were excited, but her mind was elsewhere. The girl only wanted to know what the school for good had turned her friend Greg into. She even started to suspect that this wishing fish might have been a student who failed before. The first girl went to the riverside with excitement. She put her hand in the water and caught a glimpse of her future true love. Seeing this, another girl pushed past her and put her hand in the water too. The lake's surface rippled again, revealing the face of her future life partner. The professor was very pleased with their reaction. Then, she asked the girl to try as well. If truly any wish could be granted, could the girl break this curse of failure? The girl stepped forward, put her hand in the water, and wished for hope for everyone. The next moment, a violent whirlpool rose in the lake. Everyone's eyes...
Something was wrong from the very start of this race. Instead of warming up, one runner sprayed super glue on his rival's starting spot. He called it a strategy, a plan to keep his opponent stuck in place. As soon as the whistle blew, everyone took off except number 9. He tried to run, but his feet were glued to the ground. Anyone who had bet on number 9 tore up their betting slip. Then fire suddenly came out of his teammate's mouth. In the next second, number 9 ran as if he was standing on a hot pan. He passed every runner and won the race using nothing but his tongue. The commentator lost his bet. Angry and shocked, he chewed his microphone like it was a snack. Next came the high jump event. Number 15 was doing great. He jumped as if someone had just shown him a huge electricity bill. The commentator said, "If he loses, I'll eat this table." Then it was number 9's turn. He simply said, "Raise the bar higher." In the end, the bar went even higher than expected. Number 9 jumped without any fear and cleared it with ease. The commentator immediately started keeping his promise. In the final round, number 9 just stood quietly and made one last move. His opponent looked at him and instantly fainted, as if he had realized he joined the wrong competition. And once again, number 9 won. But the audience still had no idea what had just happened. A group of people poured a huge amount of chemicals into the city's main water tank because a nuclear missile was heading straight toward them. They believed the chemical would freeze the water quickly and stop the explosion. Otherwise, the entire city could be destroyed. But even after 10 minutes, the water didn't freeze and the missile kept getting closer. That's when Jimmy tried to stir the water with a shovel to speed up the process. But the shovel was too short and couldn't even reach properly. There was no time to bring other tools. So Jimmy took a huge risk and jumped straight into the tank and started stirring the water rapidly. It began to work, but the water turned into a thick swamp and Jimmy got badly stuck inside it. The more he tried to escape, the deeper he sank. The worst part was that the missile was now very close. If it hit Jimmy, the explosion would still happen. Just then, his team arrived in a helicopter and threw down a rope for him to grab. Jimmy held on, but the chemical grip was so strong that even with full power, the helicopter couldn't pull him out. Everyone started panicking because there was almost no time left, but Jimmy stayed calm. He grabbed the rope again and this time went completely underwater. The moment his body was fully submerged, he pulled the rope hard. His team understood the signal and pulled him up again. This time, the helicopter easily lifted him out because the pressure around his body had balanced. At that...
No, stop! Backseat! Dad!
Don't you shoot my son! Look, my wife is a sergeant. Her name is Athena Grant, LAPD. Please.
He drove the kid home, got pulled over by the cops. The officer asked for his license and registration. He handed over the documents.
This your car?
It's on the paperwork.
Step out of the car, sir.
What? Why?
It's fine, baby. Sit tight.
After the man stepped out of the car, the officer asked where he was going. He had no idea what was happening. The officer said his inspection sticker was expired and needed to check his information. The man said he had a new sticker inside the car, but the officer ignored him and told him to put his hands on the hood and stay still.
Hold on for a second.
I said don't move!
Okay.
Right there, hands on the hood!
The girl turned on her phone camera and got out to check, but the officer reached to grab her phone. The boy sleeping in the car woke up from the noise. The man begged the officer not to shoot, saying his wife was a sergeant at the station. The officer's attitude softened immediately. He opened the car door and confirmed it was just a boy inside, then backed off. The older officer even had a smile on his face.
You folks have a nice night then.
The family hugged like they had survived a disaster. But this left a shadow in the child's heart. Athena found out about this incident.
I'm a cop. I was just...
Leaving your favorite watering hole after shift? Turn off the engine. Step out of the car for me. Follow the pin.
You don't give a damn about a DUI.
Careful now. I've heard talking back to an officer is liable to get someone slammed up against the hood of a car, even cuffed.
Listen, Sergeant, I didn't know that was your family when we made the stop.
Somebody else's family, and they could be making funeral arrangements right now. Walk and turn. You know the drill.
It was all a big misunderstanding. I'm sorry if your family...
Keep your weak apologies. Stand on one leg.
Sergeant Grant, I just want you to know how sorry I am. I didn't see your son.
I used fire to burn the sprinkler above me, but after burning it for a while, nothing happened. Then I went to burn the steel door of the vault, but soon realized that didn't work either. I felt completely hopeless at this point. I was thirsty and hungry. I started analyzing a situation. I hadn't wronged anyone, so who had trapped me here? Suddenly, I noticed a small hole in the wall. I came up with an idea. I grabbed a hammer and started chiseling away at it, but I underestimated how thick the vault wall was. I worked hard for a long time, but only made a tiny hole. Exhausted and oxygen-deprived, my body was giving out. I grabbed the pure oxygen and took a big breath, but I inhaled too much and passed out. When I woke up, I saw the oxygen bottle still open. I quickly shut it off to avoid wasting more. At this point, I was starving. I had no choice but to pick up some bugs off the floor and eat them. After regaining a little strength, I started chiseling again. Slowly but surely, I finally saw steel bars. Then I used the blowtorch to burn through the bars. Turns out the oxygen bottle was being used as a blowtorch. Soon enough, I managed to make a hole big enough. I quickly widened it and crawled through, but as soon as I did, I was stunned. I ended up in a room that looked exactly like my own. The only difference was, there was a coffin next to me. I walked over to the coffin with a chisel in hand. When I opened it, I found a woman inside. The woman suddenly woke up and scared me. She thought I was a bad guy. Frightened, she crawled into the other room. Since we couldn't communicate due to the language barrier, we just stared at each other. The woman seemed to be in the same situation as me, so I didn't pay her much attention. I dragged my exhausted body and lay down in her coffin to sleep. A long time later, the woman saw the tools on the ground. She started to calm down a bit. By the third day, the woman approached me. She wanted me to keep chiseling the wall, but I said I was too tired and had no strength left. I told her to do it herself. The woman...
This chubby boy ate a ton of chocolate, and even ate some of the vouchers. He became the first lucky one. The second lucky one is a wealthy girl. Her father bought all the chocolates and hired 100 workers to find vouchers. The workers moved quickly, and the floor was soon covered with chocolate. She got the gold voucher she'd been hoping for. My parents also bought me a piece of chocolate. I opened the packaging bag with hope. Nothing but chocolate. I'm disappointed, but I don't have the money to buy a second one. The remaining gold vouchers were found too. I had almost given up. Oh my God, what's that? I found $1. Perhaps this is God's will. I could too wait to buy a piece of chocolate ripped off the wrapper. My wish came true. That gift certificate is right here in my hand.
You found Wonka's last golden ticket!
Everyone gathered around me. Someone even offered me $500.
Don't let anyone have it. Take it straight home. Do you understand?
Thank you. I ran home as fast as I could and told my family the good news. When my paralyzed grandfather saw the gift certificate, he actually started dancing. This is a miracle, but I'm planning to sell it. Helping my family is more important to me than my dreams. However, my family gave me a stern scolding. They would prefer me to go to that legendary chocolate factory. I am so excited. This is my first time seeing Wonka. He brought us to this chocolate kingdom. It's like heaven here. Everything you see is made of chocolate. Wonka warmly let us taste it. That chubby little guy let go of his stomach and kept eating. Even the grass on the ground has to be eaten. Tragedy has occurred. He accidentally fell into the chocolate river.
An old man came to adopt a cat, but only a little black cat was left. In this country, black cats were seen as a bad omen, yet the old man still chose it. On the way home, they stopped at a red light. At that moment, the cat meowed, and the light suddenly turned green. The old man looked at it in confusion. Soon they arrived home. As he opened the car door, the little black cat meowed again. A sudden umbrella blew toward him, and heavy rain started outside. After entering the building, he found the elevator under repair. He was about to take the stairs, but the cat meowed again. A worker came out, and the elevator was suddenly fixed. When the old man reached upstairs. His neighbor was just moving furniture out of the way. Only then did he realize this was a lucky black cat. Back home he placed it in a box, but it meowed again. He lifted it up and saw a lottery advertisement. The prize was 3 million. The old man came up with a bold idea. Soon he took the cat to buy a ticket, but on the way the cat meowed again. A huge Christmas tree suddenly fell in front of him. Just like that, the cat saved his life. He arrived at the lottery shop. Only one ticket was left. The cat meowed once more. The old man immediately understood. This was the winning ticket, but just then his neighbor arrived. Seeing the pregnant woman, he hesitated. Maybe
It's the tile. You need to step both feet off of it. It's triggering the lasers.
Help me.
I'm gonna guide you.
I'm stuck.
Take my hand. Just listen to me. Lower your body. Nice and slow. One.
Is she okay?
Don't. I know. Don't touch it. Yeah. It looks like the skin is fused to the shirt.
Oh shit, that is the way out.
They have to escape this bank within 10 minutes, otherwise the room will activate full laser coverage. The exit is right in front of them, but to get through they must cross floor tiles filled with traps. At this moment the priest discovers these lollipops have small keys hidden inside them.
Hey guys, I found a key. Inside the lollipop. It's a key, right?
Oh wait, well, those are safety deposit boxes. It's gotta be for one of them.
They try to open the surrounding safes looking for clues. With help from their teammates, the two girls find 2 stacks of blank bills. They are about to send the bills to the other side when an accident happens. It turns out the edges of the counters on both sides are also forbidden zones. Then the woman uses blood from her finger to write on the blank bills. The numbers 0526 appear. The priest immediately enters the password. The clock on the wall starts turning. New York 1209.
Plot a course by the hours. 12 o'clock is straight, 3 o'clock is right.
That makes sense. So count the steps every minute must be the distance, and that means that 1209 is straight 9 steps.
The priest grabs a big handful of lollipops, starting from the 3rd column right away. He drops 1 lollipop as a marker with each step. According to New York Times, he walks forward a total of 9 steps. The last floor tile gets stepped on and a small piece caves in. A large safe appears nearby. It needs a 3-digit password again. Everyone hurries to search for the 3-digit password, but there are too many clues around and they can't find the right password at all.
Guys, we're not gonna make it in time! Come on, what else is there?
Hey, don't panic. We just need to keep looking, okay?
Calm down, okay?
The priest doesn't want to keep waiting. He decides to walk straight forward. As a result, on the next step,
get him up! Come on! Hurry!
Nothing happened when he hit his head. Maybe it's just the end of the counters that are booby-trapped. Let's get him off the tiles. Help me pull him up.
Careful!
They rescue the priest. At this moment, one woman suddenly thinks of something. She turns the safe around. Inside, she finds a route map. 1 minute remains.
Okay, you guys go and I'll guide you out.
What? No, I'm not leaving without you.
Hey, we need some help to carry the chosen one over here. Just go.
This is a strange school, one that only accepts the most rebellious and troublesome students. Even stranger, students who attend this school for just 3 days immediately become obedient and well-behaved. Lisa was expelled for breaking the school rules for the 8th time, and her parents decided to send her to this school. Little did she know, this would be the start of her nightmare. The principal showed Lisa's parents around the school, and seeing how well-behaved the students were, her parents were very pleased. But there was someone else, Anna, secretly watching them. Back in the dormitory, Lisa tried to put on some music to relax, but her roommate immediately stepped forward to stop her.
Hey! Music is strictly forbidden. We are gonna have such a wonderful time together.
The next day, when Lisa went to the cafeteria, she noticed something odd. The students all had exactly the same hairstyle, which left her puzzled. Just then, the principal called Lisa to the office over the intercom. A bald man there took out a ruler and measured Lisa's head circumference, then asked her age, height, weight, and measurements, all for the purpose of cutting her hair. The bald man told the principal to take Lisa there tomorrow night. Although Lisa didn't understand what was going on, her intuition told her something sinister was happening. That night, Lisa secretly crawled out of bed, planning to escape this strange place. But just as she reached the door, she was startled by Anna's sudden appearance. Anna seemed to be the only normal person there. Anna took the initiative to approach Lisa and led her to her dorm room. She told Lisa that she was the only one who knew how to escape, and if Lisa waited until the next night, after her hair was cut, she would lose herself forever.
What is this place? I'll show you.
The two of them arrived at a huge ventilation shaft. Anna expertly unlocked it, and they crawled inside. Below the shaft was a laboratory, and the bald man was working on a new girl, giving her a strange hairstyle with a bizarre fishbowl-like apparatus placed on her head. The bald man then pressed a button. Anna explained that when she was young, she had undergone surgery, and there was a steel plate in her head, so the device didn't affect her. In the blink of an eye, the girl who was just getting her hair done had completely transformed.
How do you feel? I feel wonderful.
As they were about to leave, they accidentally knocked off a screw. The The blind old man finished watching TV and got ready for bed. He had no idea that a burglar was standing right in front of him, staring at him like prey. After the old man lay down, the thief carefully placed a gas canister on the floor. A huge cloud of toxic gas instantly filled the room. The thief quietly backed out of the bedroom. Then he went downstairs to meet up with his two accomplices. They believed the money was hidden behind a heavy steel door, but no matter how hard the man tried, he couldn't force the door open, so he decided to use something more powerful. He pulled out a handgun and prepared to blast his way in, but Alex immediately objected, because once they fired a gun, this would no longer be just a simple burglary. But by now, the man wasn't listening to reason anymore. A gunshot echoed through the house, and the steel door finally burst open. Alex didn't want to take that kind of risk. He abandoned his two partners and left on his own. But just moments after he walked away, the old man suddenly appeared in front of them.
Who's there?
The two thieves froze in fear. The man quickly claimed that he was drunk and had wandered into the wrong house by mistake. But then the old man stepped on the broken door lock lying on the floor. He carefully felt it with his bare foot and instantly realized the man was lying. At that point, the thief dropped the act completely and started threatening him.
Don't you fucking move!
Even though the man had a gun, he still didn't dare to actually kill anyone. He could only fire a warning shot into the ceiling, but that gave the old man the perfect chance to strike back. Then the old man asked, "How many of you were there?" The man glanced at his girlfriend nearby and claimed he was alone. At that moment, Anna saw that her boyfriend's life was in danger. She looked over at a wrench lying on the floor, but while she hesitated, the old man wasted no time and pulled the trigger. The terrifying scene left Anna completely horrified. Luckily for her, the old man was blind and never noticed she was there. She quietly hid nearby and cried silently, feeling overwhelmed with guilt for her cowardice. Meanwhile, Alex hadn't actually left. For Anna's sake, he secretly came back to the house. The moment he stepped inside, he almost ran straight into the old man. Thankfully, Alex reacted quickly enough that the old man didn't notice him. The old man then replaced the broken lock and boarded up the shattered window. Now trapped inside the house, Anna had no choice but to text Alex for help. Alex replied that he was actually still inside the house and told her where he was hiding. But just as the two were about to meet up, the old man suddenly headed their way. Anna instantly shrank back in fear. Fortunately, the old man hadn't discovered her. He had only come to check whether his settlement money was still there. He opened the safe and felt around inside. After confirming the cash was untouched, he finally relaxed and walked away. What he didn't realize was that Anna had memorized the entire passcode. Soon after Alex met up with Anna, they entered the code, opened the safe, and took all of the old man's retirement money. There was over $1 million inside. After that, they prepared to leave with the cash. The man saw a group of students push their teacher off the building, but in the very next moment, the teacher mutated and charged straight at him. With no other choice, the man turned and ran, but the mutated teacher kept chasing him relentlessly. He gritted his teeth and sprinted as fast as he could, yet the creature pursued him like it was running a 100-meter dash. Realizing he would eventually be caught if this continued, he leaped over a fence. He thought that would buy him some time, but the situation became even more dangerous the next second. The man raced through a backyard and into an apartment building, trying to use various obstacles to slow the zombie down, but it had little effect. In the end, he could only slam a door shut, temporarily blocking the zombie outside and barely escaping the pursuit. Even then, he did not dare let his guard down. Only after running through several more streets did he finally slow his pace. The desperate sprint had badly strained his right leg. Even as his legs became harder to control, his powerful survival instinct kept pushing him forward. He did not even know when his hand had been cut. Blood covered his palm, yet he could barely feel the pain. He wanted to find something at a nearby pharmacy to bandage the wound, but the store was locked. Helpless, he could only shout for help.
Hello!
However, after the zombie outbreak, the entire town had already been abandoned. No one answered. Later, he found a car, but no matter what he tried, he could not get it started. Left with no alternative, he gave up and walked dejectedly through the silent, empty streets. Just then, a dog suddenly ran toward him from up ahead, rekindling his hope of survival. He softly called out to the dog, hoping for some companionship, but the dog merely glanced back at him before turning and leaving. Even a dog did not want to stay with him. Disappointed, he continued walking and unexpectedly discovered a supermarket around the corner. He had assumed that after the apocalypse, a place like this would have been completely looted, but when he stepped inside, the sight left him stunned. The shelves were packed with products of every kind, almost overflowing with supplies. For someone who was starving, it felt like paradise. The man immediately began gathering whatever he needed, thoroughly enjoying this unexpected shopping spree. But just as he was preparing to leave, the supermarket door suddenly opened. Startled, he quickly hid and cautiously peeked out to see who had entered, only to discover
the two had simply made a snide remark while eating, teasing the overweight man across from them about how much he was eating, but he accidentally overheard them. And from then on, he held a grudge against them. When they finished their meal and stepped outside, they discovered the man was following them, his face twisted with rage. At first, the two assumed he was just heading the same way. But as they rounded a corner, he suddenly quickened his pace and gave chase. Sensing something was wrong, the two took off running, hoping to outrun him with their speed. After dashing through several alleys, and seeing that he hadn't followed, they thought they'd finally lost him. But when they turned around, they were horrified to discover a mountain of flesh charging straight toward them, and gaining speed with every step. Terrified, the two took off running again, and a chase ensued. Although the fat man weighed an astonishing amount, it didn't slow him down in the slightest. Even though the two gave it their all, they simply couldn't shake him off. As he closed in, they panicked instantly. Just as the situation became critical, a taxi happened to stop right in front of the fat man, allowing the two to temporarily escape. But still shaken, they didn't dare to stop. They dashed into a club in a flash. Since the club was members only, they weren't worried the fat man could get in. It wasn't until it was completely dark that they dared to leave the club. They assumed the fat man had already left, but to their surprise, he had been waiting right at the entrance the whole time. As soon as he saw them come out, he immediately broke into a sprint. Seeing this, the pair were once again terrified and fled in panic. To their surprise, the fat man's running speed only increased. There was simply no escaping his grasp. Just as their strength was about to give out, they happened upon a narrow crevice. Without a second thought, they crawled inside. But when they looked back, they saw the fat man desperately squeezing in after them to save their lives. They had no choice but to keep running. Just then, a guardhouse suddenly appeared ahead. Seeing this lifeline, the two rushed inside to call for help. To their dismay, the officer inside had gone out on patrol. The man in the suit quickly grabbed the phone to call the police, but before he could even ask for help, his companion fled outside in sheer terror. The fat man was right on their heels. With no other choice, they had to keep running. When they spotted a bus up ahead, they quickly scrambled inside. They thought they'd finally shaken him off, but before they could catch their breath, they turned around to see that terrifying figure again. Like a ghost, he had boarded the bus as well. Fortunately, with so many people on board, the fat man didn't attack. But by then, the two men's mental defenses had completely collapsed. To save their lives, they had to abandon their earlier arrogance and grovel for forgiveness. But the fat man remained silent the whole time, merely casting a disdainful glance their way, before turning his head away with a blank expression. At that moment, the man in the suit thought the other had forgiven them. But the next second, a menacing face was reflected in the window. Realizing the fat man wouldn't let it go, they waited until the bus reached a stop. The two immediately resumed their frantic escape. But by now, they were utterly exhausted, and their companion had had enough. So he picked up a shovel lying nearby, intending to ambush the man. The two then hid beside the bus, weapons in hand, waiting silently for the fat man to arrive. To their utter surprise, the fat man was as unyielding as a fortress. No matter how they attacked, he remained unmoved. But suddenly, in the next second, the fat man casually slapped the man unconscious with a single blow. Seeing this, the man in the suit was instantly terrified out of his wits and scrambled to flee in panic. He eventually hid behind a pillar. Unable to find anyone, the fat man vented his anger on a large tree. Under his fierce, tiger-like pounding, the branches and leaves on the tree fell one after another. Only then did he seem to calm down and slowly walk away. Once the man was out of sight, the man in the suit finally dared to come out. Having regained his composure, he quickly dialed 911, but no sooner had he explained the situation to the police, he felt a sudden chill run down his spine. The very next second, the fat man appeared right behind him. Just as the man was at a loss for what to do, the fat man suddenly spread his arms and, without a word, gave him a hug. Just as the man was completely baffled, the fat man suddenly...
This pair of beautiful twin girls wanted to get plastic surgery because they looked too alike. Not only could their biological parents not tell them apart, even their boyfriends often mistook one for the other. This troubled them greatly. The doctor asked them what they wanted to look like after surgery. The older sister Anna decided to get breast augmentation surgery, while the younger sister decided to get facial plastic surgery. Soon they were wheeled into the operating room. The doctor immediately performed breast augmentation surgery on the older sister, then gave the younger sister Anna a nose job and surgery to adjust the shape of her ears. Before long, the surgery was successfully completed, but when the doctor entered the room, he discovered Anna was lying in her sister's arms crying in distress. This puzzled the doctor greatly. He quickly asked what had happened. Anna said that since the plastic surgery, men had all focused their attention on her sister. She felt she wasn't as pretty as her sister anymore. Anna was filled with regret. They wanted to be treated equally, so the two decided to have surgery again to return to their original appearance. The doctor felt very frustrated after hearing this. At first he wanted to refuse, but under their persistent requests, the doctor still agreed to perform the surgery for them. Soon the two sisters were wheeled into the operating room again. During the surgery, the doctor performed with a sense of annoyance. Everyone found their thinking very difficult to understand. If you were these twins, The man used photo editing to package himself as a super rich billionaire, even falsifying his personal assets to 576 million euros. He planned to use this fake identity to get rich quickly, and his target was a priceless Queen's diamond necklace. The necklace was being kept in the heavily guarded Louvre Museum. Not only did every entry require strict security checks, the entire museum was covered by 24-hour surveillance with no blind spots. Stealing something from there was almost impossible. However, the highly intelligent Joey didn't think so. He learned from the news that the diamond necklace would be publicly auctioned at the museum next Friday. After hearing this, Joey immediately came up with a plan to steal it. To understand the museum's internal layout, Joey pretended to apply for a cleaning job. The cleaning supervisor was very confused since they weren't hiring at all. But even after being repeatedly rejected, Joey still didn't give up. When he noticed the background in a photo posted on the supervisor's wall, he quickly analyzed the woman's hometown location. Joey then lied and said he was from the same place. The woman's attitude immediately changed, and the two quickly struck up a warm conversation. Joey successfully became a cleaner at the museum. After several days of covert investigation, Joey had completely mapped out the museum's layout. He then explained the detailed theft plan to his accomplices. Finally, the day of the auction arrived, and the operation began. Joey disguised himself as a top-tier billionaire and walked confidently into the auction hall, while three accomplices pretended to be cleaners and sneaked into the museum. Next, the three deliberately caused a disturbance in the locker room to draw the attention of security guards outside. Since there were no surveillance cameras inside the locker room, two guards entered, and the three immediately attacked and quickly subdued them. After that, two of them changed into security uniforms, disguising themselves as museum guards to prepare for the next step of the plan. Meanwhile, another accomplice sneaked into the surveillance room, grabbed a nearby trash bin, and knocked out the on-duty guard. He then shut down all the surveillance systems and immediately sent Joey a message confirming the operation was successful. After receiving the message,
he just ran into a utility pole. When he came to, he was stunned to discover that the roles of men and women in the entire world had completely reversed.
You on any medication? The pill?
The pill?
Side effects can be pretty intense. Some men can't handle it.
At that moment, Damien had not yet realized that the world had changed. As he was getting ready to head back to work, he received a warning from a mysterious man.
You will never get out of here. Never getting out of here.
The moment Damien walked into the office, everyone looked at him strangely. When he tried to enter his own office, his secretary stopped him.
You can't just walk into Alex's office.
You're surprisingly funny at this. You probably heard Alex just quit.
Did I?
The female colleague he had once pushed out of her position was now acting like a top executive. Even the company's CEO was unusually attentive, personally bringing her coffee.
You've got to stop teasing me in these cardigans.
All right, Fred. Don't let her talk to you like this.
The CEO pulled Damien aside and advised him not to go against the women.
Who's calling us mad? Oh, the women. The women? Who cares about the women? You're the bloody CEO of this company. Well, it comes as a surprise to Felicity. Felicity's our receptionist. No, Damien, please don't.
The receptionist he was talking about was now sitting in the CEO's chair. That was when Damien finally noticed that all the leaders in the company were women, while the receptionists had all become men. He rushed home, only to find magazines about being a stay-at-home man laid out on the table. Even classic novels had been rewritten.
Harry Potter, Lady of the Ring. What? Donna Quixote.
The sudden shift was more than Damien could handle. He immediately rushed to his mother's house to see what was going on. When he walked in, he found his mother and sister stretched out on the couch, drinking and watching a game.
Hey, Damien. That's my girl.
He then went into the kitchen and found his father cooking the dishes that used to be his mother's specialty.
Please just stop this. Stop this right now. And tell Mom and everyone to just be normal.
What's got into you, sweetheart?
Watching all of this, Damien was on the verge of a breakdown. So he returned to the office building and found the utility pole he had hit earlier, hoping it would send him back to the original world. But no matter how hard he rammed into it, nothing worked. Just then, the mysterious man appeared again. The man said he had also come from the normal world.
How long have you been here? 9 years. 9 years?
The revelation left Damien feeling helpless. However, the man also revealed that someone had once made it back to the original world. As long as Damien could rise from his current position to the
man simply placed his hand on the dead polar bear, raised his phone and took a picture. But then his exposed arm suddenly felt a sharp sting, as if something had bitten him. Blood beads instantly appeared at the wound. At the time, the man did not think much of it, assuming it was just fleas on the polar bear corpse causing trouble. He casually wiped it away, and did not take it seriously. But early the next morning after he got up, he found blood seeping through the bandage on the wound. He quickly removed the gauze to check. The wound had already clearly become infected, and gave off a strange odor. Just then a teammate came over to talk to him. Frank instinctively pulled the bandage tighter on his arm, and then forgot about the infected wound. It was not until later, when he saw terrible squirming worms crawling out of the polar bear corpse in the lab, that Frank finally realized the situation was far more serious than he had imagined. He quickly removed the bandage on his arm, and examined it closely. The sight before him left him stunned. The wound had already begun to rot. The surrounding flesh had changed color. White insect eggs were attached to it, about to hatch, but they were in a remote field base, with no professional medical staff to help, and no effective medical equipment. Yet to save his own life, he still decided to take a desperate risk, and planned to treat himself. He grabbed a small knife from the toolbox. Without any hesitation, he cut open the wound on his arm. Sure enough, a living creature was squirming inside the depths of the wound. But before anyone could get a clear look, the thing quickly burrowed back into his flesh. The teammates who witnessed this scene turned pale instantly, completely at a loss. After coming to his senses, the man did not hesitate. Immediately pulled a kitchen knife from the drawer and slammed it down on the table. It looked like he was preparing to cut off his arm to save his life, and wanted a teammate to help. The teammates were stunned by the sight of the kitchen knife, and did not dare step forward. Seeing this, Frank did not force them. He simply sat on a nearby stool, ready to do it himself. After some hesitation, the teammates had no choice, and reluctantly agreed, deciding to prepare thoroughly first. They first gave Frank an antibiotic shot, then used a bandage to tie off the artery in his arm. With all the emergency measures ready, the teammate's hand holding the kitchen knife kept shaking, unable to bring himself to swing. At this critical moment, Frank saw with horror that the insect eggs on his wound had already begun to hatch. The teammate finally hardened his heart, and swung the knife down.
To test my ability to reproduce, the apes brought a woman to me. But the strange thing was, I showed no interest in her at all. Instead, my eyes were fixed on Dr. Lena, the ape scientist standing outside the cage. Dr. Lena was curious to study my reproduction behavior. Suddenly, I tried to reach out and grab her, but the guard nearby stopped me immediately. Still, Dr. Lena didn't punish me. Instead, she allowed me to walk outside along with the woman. But I wasn't interested in that wild woman. Then I saw Dr. Lena coming, and quickly sat down on the ground and started drawing pictures, trying to communicate with her somehow. Unfortunately, Dr. Lena didn't notice it. At that moment, the science minister arrived, and they got into a conversation. Meanwhile, a wild human came and wiped away all of my drawings. I got angry and attacked him. Once again, I lost my chance to talk to Dr. Lena, and my outside pass was canned. As soon as I was thrown back into my cage, a science minister noticed the drawing marks on the ground, but instead of reacting, he silently erased them with his stick. I felt hopeless inside the cave. But then Dr. Lena returned. I quickly grabbed her and snatched the paper and pen from her hand. The guard hit me, but before anything else, I wrote down my name. Dr. Lena was shocked. He couldn't believe a human considered the lowest in their society could write. Dr. Lena took me to her home to study me further. I kept writing on the pages, explaining I came from Earth and was captured after my spaceship crashed. Dr. Lena's husband was surprised. He told Dr. Lena that I must be crazy because nothing in their world could fly, but I proved him wrong. I tore a piece of paper, folded it into the shape of a ship, and flew it through the air. That small paper plane became a symbol of how backward their world was. Dr. Lena's husband stood speechless. Just then, the science minister stormed in with soldiers and questioned them for keeping a human in the house without permission. When his eyes fell on the paper plane, I lost control. He ordered his guards to capture me immediately. He jumped onto the police car and smashed the window with a crowbar, but instead of running away, he actually got himself arrested on purpose because he was a top-tier hitman, and he broke into prison just to kill this old man. The old man had a very sharp intuition and spotted immediately that the other guy was a killer, realizing he was in danger. Mickey quickly found a prison guard and begged to be transferred to the safest gay ward, thinking that was the only way to avoid getting assassinated, to prove he was gay. He made up a whole bunch of romantic history with men.
Do you know what a size queen is?
I was into big dicks.
Do you know what a bear is?
Big fat guy. A lot of body hair, like a bear.
The review process would take 3 days, so the warden told him to go back and wait for the news. Meanwhile, the hitman had already taken out the poison, and while Mickey was called away by the warden, the hitman immediately poured the poison into Mickey's bowl, thinking the mission would be perfectly completed. But the old man nearby was incredibly greedy, and actually stole Mickey's poisoned food.
Hey, that's my fucking lunch. You want it back? Oh, now you fucking slobbered in it.
To make sure Mickey was truly gay, he called Mickey's grandson, but the grandson said Mickey was a total playboy.
He's got 4 fucking kids and like 1,000 ex-girlfriends. Go back to jerking off, I'm fucking busy here.
Looks like Mickey was lying. At the same time, the inmate who ate the poison was in agonizing pain. Mickey was just about to leave when he noticed the warden walking in with a furious look. Mickey quickly pretended to get intimate with his cellmate and successfully convinced the warden that he was gay. Just like that, Mickey not only dodged the assassination.
This woman sees the future every time she takes the elevator. She looks at the girl in front of her and suddenly senses she's going to be beaten. The abusive man has a scar on his chin. Sarah rushes forward to warn her.
학생한테 안 좋은 일이 생길지 몰라요.
The girl thinks she's crazy and turns to go home. Sarah tries to explain, but a voice the girl's father calls out from inside, through the crack in the door. Sarah sees the man has a scar on his chin. To save the girl, Sarah follows the man into the elevator, fighting her fear. She tells him directly,
애한테 무슨 일이라도 생기면 내가 당신 신고할 거야.